and online, Tracy Egan. Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo. This is News 10 at 5:30.
Brian Stratton heads to the state capitol, determined to head off financial disaster in Schenectady.
We have to be prepared for whatever kind of contingency there is, and I think we certainly are.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tracy Egan. Schenectady's mayor says his meeting today with Governor Pataki is an important step that will hopefully help put the city back on the right financial path. Dan Levy reports from the Capitol.
Just as adamant as Brian Stratton is that a lack of discipline and accountability by Schenectady's previous administration put the city in the financial mess it's in, that's how determined he is to seek, at the very least, a partial remedy by visiting Governor Pataki at the Capitol. Did the governor make any promises or guarantees that you were especially encouraged by?
I am encouraged by the fact that he made available a considerable amount of time today.
In other words, the issue of Schenectady receiving state money is still up in the air, although apparently the governor did score some points with the Electric City contingent.
I thought the governor was very well informed about our issues. He was very engaged in the process and made some wonderful commitments towards giving us the kind of staffing help we need to sort of address some of our problems.
He also, later in the day, held a news conference calling for Medicaid and pension reforms designed to provide $1.6 billion in fiscal relief for local governments across the state.
Our budgeted pension contribution for 2004 is $4.7 million.
Something else very important to point out, the fact that Governor Pataki is a Republican, and of course Mayor Stratton happens to be a Democrat. Even so, people coming out of that meeting didn't seem to think political differences made any difference at all.
He used to be a mayor, and it's something that he's very proud of. So he knows the problems of local government, and it's not a division between local government and state government.
He's just really interested in helping local governments and keeping the state moving forward.
Similar situation with meetings that occurred in the Senate and now with the governor, and I think that bipartisan approach is very helpful, and certainly this is a big issue and needs to be resolved.
And today's meeting with the governor comes on the heels of last week's meetings that Brian Stratton held with union leadership, making the point then and reiterating the point today that unless he receives some combination of increased state aid and the ability to sell tax liens, then he will go back to the unions and ask for concessions. And Tracy, if that doesn't happen, there will be job losses in Schenectady.
He's made that clear.
Yes, he has.
Thank you, Dan. Legislators return from Easter break to get back to business on the late state budget. That budget is already 2 weeks overdue, having passed the April 1st deadline. Last year, the state spending plan was 45 days late, and the record length of overdue state budgets is 126 days. That happened in both 1997 and 1999. Just where are state lawmakers in regard to getting the budget done? Local members from both sides of the aisle say progress has been made, and they are closer, but not close enough to say it's almost a done deal. Walt McClure reports from the Capitol.
Now that the Easter Passover break is over, state lawmakers are back at the Capitol attempting to negotiate toward an agreement on the already 2 weeks late state budget.
They're making progress, and that's basically what everybody's trying to do. I think that we could be hours away as soon as we come to some agreement as to how much money we've got to spend.
Which could take some time since both houses need to agree on refiguring the school aid formula in New York, an expensive proposition some say the state cannot really afford at this point, but must do under court order.
I'm confident that we'll come there. We'll get it done. Of course, my majority leader is very punctual, and it really breaks him up that these things are late. We're going to work hard at it, and I'm confident we'll get one relatively soon.
Over on the Assembly side, Deputy Majority Leader Ron Cannistrari says legislative staff made great progress during the break, and a deal is much closer than it was before the break.
We've reduced, almost eliminated the pain of a late budget by not having spring borrowing, by ensuring that school districts get their money, local governments get their money. So that's a plus, that there's less pain.
Government operations have been running on extenders passed by lawmakers before they left on break. Those extenders run out April 18th. And presuming there won't be a budget in place by then, lawmakers will likely have to vote again tomorrow on new extenders.
The pressure is to make them less timely, in other words, a shorter period of time, just to put the pressure on of all of us to get it done.
At the Capitol, Walt McClure, News 10.
The instability in Iraq has President Bush meeting with defense chiefs about a possible troop buildup in Iraq. In a video link with the top U.S. commander in Iraq and Administrator Paul Bremer, they discussed whether greater troop strength is needed to quell the insurgents. The president wants to stabilize Iraq so he can hand over control to the Iraqi Governing Council by June 30th. The Madison, Wisconsin college student who apparently faked her own abduction could see jail time. Audrey Seiler is charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of obstructing officers for the incident that drew nationwide attention. She was last seen on March 27th, turned up on the 31st, and told police a man who abducted her from her apartment near the University of Wisconsin had threatened her. Surveillance video of her leaving her apartment and buying items that she claimed were used in the abduction made police doubt her claims. One report says Seiler has been receiving psychiatric care. Pittsfield police make an arrest in a drive-by shooting, and they find their suspect in court. Police say Isaiah Moody faces a number of charges in connection with yesterday's shooting on Bradford Street. Police say Moody was aiming at 2 men, but his shots hit a parked car instead. Moody was picked up by officers around 2 o'clock today in Berkshire Superior Court, where he was awaiting arraignment on an unrelated charge. Cambridge police are charging 2 young girls in connection with vandalism at the Woodland Cemetery. Police say a 14-year-old Troy girl admitted to knocking over 16 headstones Easter weekend with her 9-year-old friend. The 9-year-old is out of town, but she will be charged when she comes back. Police say the girls began their vandalism spree after one of them accidentally toppled a stone by sitting on it. A Schenectady contractor is cited for a trench collapse that killed one of its workers. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration has fined JRP Enterprises $17,000. 32-year-old Donald Coons was killed last November while working in a trench on Harmony Court in Colony. Turning to Wall Street, stock prices closed slightly lower today. Claire Leka joins us live with more. Claire.
Tracy, investors continue to worry about a possible interest rate hike. This after the government reported a big spike in consumer prices last month. Investors are worried that the Federal Reserve could raise interest rates as early as this summer. Take a look at the closing numbers now. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 3 points today. The Nasdaq off 5 points. The S&P 500 giving back 1 point in the session. Checking on your local stocks and how they did on Wall Street today. IBM jumping 66 cents today. GE was off 52 cents. Verizon shares disconnecting 6 cents. Meantime, Map Info Corporation tacking on 10 cents in the session. Tracy?
All right, thanks so much, Claire. We'll look for you tomorrow. We turn now to Steve Caporizzo for our first look at the weather.
And finally, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is tomorrow with the forecast. So say goodbye to this wet weather. About another 4 to 6 hours we have to deal with some showers around here. In fact, let's check out the storm tracker live, high-definition Doppler radar. And you can see that band of showers about 50 miles south of Albany. Also a few light showers in the Berkshires. I want to zoom in, and you can see the showers basically between Newburgh and Kingston, Ulster and Dutchess counties, moving off to the north. A little tighter shot as we get into portions of, there we go, into northern Dutchess County, around Pine Plains, Millbrook, Pleasant Valley, Rock City. This area of showers moving northbound into Columbia County in the next 15 to 30 minutes. All right, forecast for this evening. A shower, especially south of Albany, will be cloudy, 40 to 45. The high today hit 49. Let's check on our storm tracker futurecast temperatures. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, 38 in Albany, Schenectady 37, Hoosick Falls and Amsterdam both in the mid-30s. By noontime tomorrow, 47, a little bit windy, 46 at Schenectady, Pittsfield 43, 50 at Hudson. It'll be a cool afternoon tomorrow, 50 at 5 p.m. in Albany, but only 45 in Westerlo, 53 in Saratoga Springs, 40s in Berkshire County, and Bennington at 47. We'll have the complete forecast into the weekend, and we can all smile with the temperatures a little bit later in the newscast.
Excellent. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
Coming up on News 10 at 5:30, Medical Breakthroughs. It's pretty amazing. Special lights stimulate collagen production to make skin look younger.
News 10 is sponsored by First Niagara Bank. Our first priority is you.
For personal and professional reasons, men and women alike are trying to keep their skin looking young. Now, Medical Breakthrough's been shown to make skin appear more youthful, and it's available locally. Susan Brandow of Loudonville lives an active life that includes plenty of time in the sun. So when Dr. George Stasier asked the 44-year-old to take part in a study of a new approach to reversing sun damage, she jumped at the chance.
How I look is really important to me. I want to stop the aging process, and you know, this has really helped immensely.
Susan undergoes an exfoliating mask before her gentle wave session so that the lights have fewer layers of skin to penetrate. Dr. George Pataki says studies prove the gentle wave's photomodulation reduces wrinkles and sun damage.
It's a LED, a light-emitting diode, a very safe emitter of light, that when used to stimulate the skin or the inside layers of the skin called the basal cells, it stimulates new collagen as the skin grows every 4 to 6 weeks.
The day we visited Dr. Stacier's Latham office, Stacy Clough came in for a 30-second gentle wave session.
I have had 7 treatments, and I've really noticed that it helped right away. Actually, one of my babysitters said the very first day I saw her, something is different about you, and I said, oh, it must be the gentle wave, so I guess it's working.
Dr. Stacyer says he expects most patients to be between 25 and 45, people who want to decrease wrinkles and pore size. A single session costs $75, $100 if you want an exfoliating mask first. To review this story, go to WTEN.com and click on Medical. And you'll have a chance to learn more about Gentle Wave's photomodulation at the ACOG and WTEN Women's Health Expo at the Empire State Plaza coming up on April 26th and 27th. Doctors Stacyer and Stacyer will be demonstrating the Gentle Wave's photomodulation for you. Coming up here on News 10 at 5:30, we'll take a look at the evening commute, and we'll have this story for you.
I'm John Craig, live at the Rensselaer Technology Park. Hot dogs and video games. Kids love them. Can't live without them. We'll tell you what they have in common after this.